Not only do you need a BA, but you need your MS, which means the master's servant. A lot of people don't qualify for this job because they just don't want to serve. But they'd rather have people to come and serve them. When was the last time you did your part? And I have another test for leaders, that if you come into my office and you say, Pastor, the Lord has called me to be a deacon. The Lord has called me to be a preacher. My first question to you is, well, what have you done for the Lord lately? You should already be serving in some capacity. Are you on the usher board? Are you singing in the choir? Are you frying chicken in the kitchen? You need to be serving in some way. And the best way to find out if they're serious, I ask them to serve with the custodial ministry. Can you just help out after church on Sunday and pick up some of the trash and the nasty tissues in the pews and the gum underneath the seats? And if they turn their nose up, I said, that ain't the service. That ain't the servant for this church. Come on, somebody. When was the last time you ran the vacuum cleaner? When was the last time you picked up somebody for church? When was the last time you helped clothe the naked, feed the hungry, or help somebody as I travel along this way, so my living shall not be in vain? We need some servants of the master. But thirdly and finally, and I'm going to love you and leave you alone, and I'm on my way back to Michigan. Not only should you have a BA, which means you're born again, and an MS, which means you're the master servant, you also need your PhD. Now, this is not the same doctorate that your pastor just got. This is altogether different. You don't even really have to be as smart as he is to have a PhD, because all it really means is you've got the power to handle the devil. And I came to tell you, deacons, if you want to serve in the kingdom, you do need a PhD, because these are hazardous conditions. Working in the church is a hazard. We ought to get hazardous pay, because Jesus said in the text, he said, I send you as lambs in the midst of wolves. Have I got a witness, church? And I came to tell somebody that wolves eat lambs, so that means it's a hazardous job. Have I got a witness, church? And you say you want to be a deacon. You say you want to serve with the pastor. You say you want to serve in the church where there are wolves waiting to eat you up. There are wolves right out these doors that are trying to huff and puff and blow the house down. There's wolves even in the church dressed up like sheep. Have I got a witness, church? And you got to love them anyhow. And you still want to serve. You got to preach the hell out of them. And you still want to serve. They're lying on you. They're stabbing you in your back. But you still got to love them anyhow. And you still want to serve. This is hazardous work. Working in wolf country. But I came to tell somebody, if you got your PhD, that's all you really need. Because if you have your PhD, you'll have the power to go into the wolf country. Have I got a witness, church? He said it right in verse 19. He said, behold, I give you power to tread on scorpions and serpents and over all the power of the enemy. And he said, nothing, absolutely nothing shall by any means hurt you. Come here, Isaiah. He said, no weapon formed against you shall shall prosper, and every tongue that rises in judgment thou shalt condemn. Have I got a witness, church? A whole lot of people just don't qualify because they don't like confrontation. They're scared of the big bad wolf. They're afraid of the devil. But I came to tell somebody, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. Is there anybody here that can shout on the night, the Lord is my light and my salvation? Whom shall I fear? Of whom shall I be afraid? If God be for us, who can be against us? Don't you know that if you have power, you'll be able to get the job done? We need power. Power to walk right. Power to talk right. Power to live right. Power to give right. Power to speak to your storms. Power to talk to your circumstance. Power to leap over walls. Power to walk through truths. I'm not talking about physical power. I'm not talking about nuclear power. I'm not talking about manpower. I'm not talking about horsepower. I'm not talking about solar power. I'm not even talking about black power. But I'm talking about Holy Ghost power. Holy Ghost power. Holy Ghost power. Anybody here got that Holy Ghost power? Well, if you don't have it, you need to come on down to the altar. Get down on your knees. Call on the Lord. And if you call on him, he will answer your prayer. If you call on Jesus, he will. Won't he will? He'll show up and show out. If you need more power, call him up. Call him up. Call him up and tell him what you want. If you need a healing, call him up. Call him up. Tell him what you want. And God will. Won't he will show up, show out, show off. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. He'll pick you up, turn you around, place your feet on solid ground, heal your body, tell you to run on. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Anybody here know Jesus for yourself? Has he saved anybody? Has he healed anybody? Has he blessed anybody? Is there anybody here that can shout yeah? Shout yeah! Shout yeah! Oh, he's all right. Tell your neighbor, what's the matter with Jesus? He's all right. I can feel him in my hands, feel him in my feet, feel him all over me. Do you know him tonight? Shout it. Come on and give him praise. Do you know Jesus? Shout yeah! Give somebody a high five. Tell them I know him for myself. He's all right.